Hello friends, today's topic of discussion is ranging and offsets. Today we are discussing what are the different types of offset, their definitions, then types of ranging and the method of ranging. Starting with the first topic, which is offsets. Offsets are basically the linear measurement from the baseline. We have discussed baseline in earlier videos. Suppose AB is your baseline and the linear or the lateral measurements taken on left or right side of your baseline are known as offsets. Offsets are generally used to fix a position of different objects, suppose a tree, the corner of your building or any other objects. It may be taken by using a tape or a chain. Now basically there are two types of offset. One is your perpendicular offset, next is your oblique offset, and there are two more types, which is long offset and we can say short offset. Now what is a perpendicular offset? Perpendicular offset is nothing but the measurement taken at an right angle to the survey line called a perpendicular or right angle offset, and these can be found out or can be drawn by using three methods. First is swing. So from A, I have to establish a perpendicular offset. So calculate the distance and we can simply swing a chain or tape to establish this perpendicular offset at B. Next is using cross staff. Now there are two types of cross staff. One is open cross staff and another is French cross staff. Open cross staff is basically made up of four veins exactly opposite to each other. Two veins are known as eye vein and the remaining two are your object vein. From eye vein we'll see the object vein where the crosshair is provided and we have to bisect the ranging rod at other end. So one person is standing at first eyepiece and bisecting the ranging rod at A, while at the same time the other person standing at second eyepiece and bisecting the ranging rod at C. So we can set the perpendicular C by using this open cross staff. And another is French cross staff. French cross staff is same as open cross staff, but it can be used to establish the angles of 45 degree, 90 degree and as well as 135 degree. So it has a division and openings at 45 degree, whereas the open cross staff has the opening at 90 degree. Next is using optical square. Now optical square basically look like circular one. It has two openings and in it is provided with a mirror. The mirrors are placed at 45 degree so that whenever I look to it, it will get reflected to the other mirror and you can set a perpendicular. So we are looking at this from this opening. We'll see a mirror. The mirror are placed at 45 degree and through that another 45 degree we can see the ranging rod at C and we can establish a perpendicular on that particular point by using open cross staff also. Now moving on to further, which is our oblique offset. Oblique offset is nothing but an offset which is set at any angle other than your 90 degree. So is known as oblique offset. The only condition is your triangle should be a well-conditioned triangle. Now what do you mean by well-conditioned triangle? In well-conditioned triangle, your theta is more than 30 degree and less than 120 degree is known as well-conditioned triangle. So your theta will be more than 30 degree and less than 120 degree. This is known as your well-conditioned triangle. Now we can see AB is your baseline. From AB we have drawn a offset at angle not equal to 90 degrees. So it is known as what? Oblique offset. And here we have drawn angle equal to 90 degrees. That is known as your perpendicular offset. So we have to mark two trees by using offsets. Moving on further, here I have given you a simple example of field work. In the field, if you are plotting 2 points, now AB is my baseline as we know. From AB, we have to plot this building, then this tree and a pole. For finding out the points or the corners of two buildings, we have used two oblique offset for any known angle other than 90 degree. Then for establishing this tree, we have used a perpendicular offset, 90 degree offset. And for finding out this baseline of your stop or a pole, we again use a perpendicular offset. So 90 degree offsets are known as perpendicular offset, which can be on either side of your survey line, right or left. Same for your oblique offsets. The long offset, what do you mean by long offsets? The offsets which are greater than 15 meter are known as your long offsets, and the offsets less than 15 meter are known as your short offsets. So long offset and short offset. So now moving to a next topic, which is ranging. Ranging is basically the method of establishing intermediate points between two station points. As we can see over here, this is the process of locating intermediate points on a survey line is known as ranging. 2 points AB are your 2 points or a survey line. Here we have to set up point C and D. So this can be done by using ranging. Again, in ranging there are two methods: direct ranging and reciprocal ranging or indirect ranging. Now when we use direct ranging, the direct ranging is used for establishing stations when there are intervisible to each other. So from E I can see the point B, then we can use direct method, and it is generally done by eye judgment only, by using your human eye. Then ranging rods are erected vertically beyond each end of the survey line. Suppose AB is my survey line, so we have erected a ranging rod at A and as well as at B. The surveyor has to stand 2 meters beyond your ranging rod and had to be seated on his knees. You have to close your one eye and bisect the foot of your ranging rod from A to the ranging rod at B, and you have to adjust yourself in the line of AB because A and B are fixed points that cannot be moved. Then you have to send one follower or assistant with a ranging rod, and you have to tell him to stand between line A and B, and he has to keep the ranging rod at any point between A and B. Then you have to guide him whether to move to right or left by using your surveying symbols, so that he will be in a perfect line of ranging rod A and B. You have to guide him till you see 3 ranging rods in a straight line like A, B, C, or A, C and B. The 3 rods are in line. It means what? Your point C or the ranging rod at C is in the line AB. Now you can establish a point C. Likewise, you can establish point D, E, and number of points you needed, and you can calculate the distance between it. This is known as direct method because we have to use eye judgment only. So it can be done for small distances. For example, you can see in figure, we have to establish point A and B, and we have to calculate the distance between them. What we have to do? We have to erect a ranging rod at A as well as ranging rod at B. Surveyor has to stand 2 meters below the point A and direct the station at B, and you have to simply calculate the distance between AB. The simplest method. In next, we have to calculate longer distance. Now in longer distance, where our tape or chain is not sufficient, we have to establish intermediate points. Now how will we establish intermediate points? A and B are fixed point. We have erected ranging rod at A and ranging rod at B. Now stand 2 meters behind your ranging rod at A. Sit at your knees. By closing your one eye, we have to adjust ourselves so that we are in the line AB, and we have to send our assistant with a ranging rod, and we have to guide him to move left or right till he is in the line AB. When he is in the line AB, we have to say stop him and mark the point C. Likewise, we can calculate the distance between AC, and then we can calculate distance between CB, and adding this we will get a total distance AB. If there is a very long distance between point A and B, then we have to establish a intermediate points, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, depend upon your need and the length of your survey line. Okay, and then simply we have to add the chaining length between 1, 2 and 3. Then now what is indirect ranging? This is the indirect ranging in which the points are intervisible to each other. Now in indirect ranging, point A and B are not visible. There is an obstacle between A and B. Obstacle can be a elevated portion or a hill or any other obstacle. So for example, I can show you the point A is here, point B is here. We have to calculate the distance, or we have to range bisect the point A and B. So ranging means what? We have to establish intermediate points CD between A and B. Now the problem is there is a hill portion, so A and B are not intervisible to each other. Now how will you perform this type of problems? Simply what we have to do, we have to establish 2 points A and B. We have to send 2 assistants with a rod each at C and at D. So we have to establish intermediate points C and D. Now the person standing at A can see the ranging rod at C as well as the ranging rod at D. Same, the person standing at B should be able to see the ranging rod at C as well as the ranging rod at D. Now, the person standing at A has to guide the person at C to be in line of D and A. Alternately, the surveyor at B has to guide the person standing at D to be in a line of C and B. So alternately doing this, what will be happen? Eventually, the both will come in a straight line. When you have to stop? When the person standing at A can see C and D in a straight line. Simultaneously, the surveyor at B can see D and C in a straight line. I will give you a simple example over here. Yeah. So we can see that from here we can establish n number of points by using this simple method. It's just the person standing at intermediate points has to be visible to the person at main station A and main station B. So likewise we can establish different points. Now C and D is a line of A and B. Now we can establish E and F by using AC line, and we can establish G point and H point by using B and D line. So likewise, depend upon your measurement of survey, we can establish n number of intermediate points on a sloping ground. This is the same method we can use on steps also. So indirect method is used for sloping grounds or hilly portion or the steps ground where the two main stations are not visible to each other directly. Thank you.